I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to type in Clear Channel, KLear, Clear Channel, and subscribe. So the more subscribers we get as we are getting this Clear Channel going, the better it is for you guys and for business and life. And I want to share it. My goal by launching this Clear Channel last year, right after the pandemic, is to help change the world one leader at a time. So if you can help me do that, I would really appreciate it. Happy Friday. It's good to see some familiar faces. So today's call. So listen. Today I'm talking about gaining an edge, gaining a slight edge on your competition, on the world, on your opportunity. The slight edge, there's actually a book written called The Slight Edge Theory. But the slight edge theory, and just in general besides the book, is the idea that is the belief that small decisions made over time will lead to a massive differentiation in results. So it's like, give an example, a boat, they say that a boat doesn't make a right-hand turn. For any guys that ever been on a boat, you've driven a boat, you know that, right? You can't just turn right. The boat has to turn little by little, 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree, and little by little, 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree. Then all of a sudden you've turned 180 degrees around and you're going in an opposite direction, right? So, we love to make all these changes in our life. We love to do things that, will get us on the right path today, kind of thing. That's just not the way it works. It's small decisions over time that will help you reach your goals and reach your dreams. So I can tell you, being successful isn't easy. It is a huge challenge. But I also can tell you, it's doing the small things that make the biggest difference. So simple things aren't easy to do. Simple things aren't easy to do over time. Although they seem simple, they're not easy to do continuously, right? And I'll tell you, one of the things I know about gaining traction on your career, gaining traction on your goals, whether it's physically or financially, the results are invisible when you start. There aren't any results. You're actually going to the gym, you're trying to save money. There's so many things, you can't see the growth in the beginning, but over time you definitely will. But I believe that making a decision to succeed is the first step that you have to do. If you want to hit a goal, you have to decide. If you're in our career, in our business, if you want to get promoted, you want to move into management positions, you want to get into leadership roles, it starts with the decision. It starts with, you know what? I'm ripping up my resume. I'm all in. It's like in poker. I'm putting all my chips in. I'm getting after it. And it's very interesting what happens again, with health-wise and other things you can do when you make certain decisions. If you decide you're going to be healthy, you decide that you're going to get in shape, then other things kind of come from that. And I'll tell you, there's a saying I wrote down. It says, your lifestyle depends on your results, which stems from your actions. It's influenced by your attitude, and it ultimately develops from your mindset and how you think. So I want to show you guys share my screen here. There's an interesting kind of page here I found. Can everybody see that? Oops. Can everybody see that this graph here? I see a couple people on screen. Can you guys all see it? Can I get a thumbs up or something? Okay, you guys see it? Okay, cool. All right, so it kind of goes through the slight edge theory, right? And it talks about a certain, the philosophy, your attitude, your actions, your results create a certain lifestyle. It creates a certain level of financial strength, certain level of health and business, personal development. It creates certain relationships. And, I'm a firm believer that you can create whatever lifestyle, whatever life you want. It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter, what family you grew up in. It doesn't matter what your parents think. It doesn't matter what your siblings think. It matters what you do. And it doesn't even matter how old you are. You can be young and successful in this world. which is what I've always wanted to be when I was growing up. And I'll tell you, it says here, it says, what's uncomfortable early becomes comfortable later for those that want to be successful. So give an example. What was uncomfortable for me when I was starting in my career, when I was 22 years old, starting in sales, starting in commission-based sales, and my parents were engineers, they weren't the most excited about me being in this industry. They kept saying things like, what's your salary? What's your, what are you going to make this year? What, blah, blah, what are you getting? When are you going to take some time off? Like all this like corporate type language. And I had to sit down with my parents at one point, and I had to say, if you don't stop talking shit about what I do, I'm just not going to talk to you about work. Like, I believe in what I'm doing. I have grown so much in my first month in doing this position that I love the people I work with, and that I just, by talking to you about it and you bringing up all these negative things about what I choose to do, makes me not want to talk to you. And I want to talk to you. I want to hang out with you. I want to come see you in Florida. But if you continue to do this, we're going to stop talking, and that's going to be all on you. And there's a short period of time where we didn't talk. And then they realized that, hey, listen, they want to be adults, and they want to actually love me for who I am and the choices I make. And they ultimately realized. Now, it's interesting because many, many months later, when I got promoted and I, ran my first company at 23 years old, I remember my parents came to visit my office in Columbus, Ohio. And I employed at that point about 50 people in my company. That was the year we did over $1 million in business when I was a young entrepreneur. And I remember taking my parents to the airport, and I had this little Honda Accord, this Prelude. It was kind of funny, 2-door coupe, or Honda Accord EX, 2-door coupe. It's like a 2-door. You had to climb in the back. It wasn't 4 doors, whatever. And I remember my mom being in the back seat of the car. My dad was up front. I was driving to the airport, and my mom, leaned in and tapped me on the shoulder, and she goes, "Honey, I just want to tell you how proud I am." And I looked at her, and she had tears in her eyes. And she's like, "I know I wasn't, I didn't get what you're doing, but this morning when you ran your morning meeting, there's so many people that came up to me and said they were so thankful for you and how you've hired them and how you gave them a chance to work. That's the reason we came to America, is to provide opportunity and to give and to help other people. And I'm so proud of you." And I'll tell you guys, in my lifetime, my parents said they were proud of me like 3 or 4 times. I can remember every single time. Now, a couple times were around soccer, like when I won a state title in high school. I remember my dad driving home. He's like, "Son, I'm proud of you." I was in the backseat of our little minivan. Another time was when I got a scholarship to play in college, because financially it was such a huge benefit to us that I could play in college and I could have my school paid for. And so, it was really, really special, to say the least. But it was uncomfortable for me when I was starting because they made it uncomfortable for me, right? And so that kind of how it works. Now, if you want to be successful, there's responsibility, there's discipline, you got to drive your values. And again, small decisions made consistently over time will lead to success. Now, the other side of things is the opposite, things that lead to not being successful. And this is what's comfortable early becomes uncomfortable later. So things you neglect, if you feel you're entitled to things, if you place blame on others for your growth or lack of growth or your performance, and especially in a sales-based business, these are all things that lead to failure. And it's also easy not to do things. It's easy not to be disciplined. It's easy not to take responsibility. And then, what it says here is simple errors in judgment made over time will ultimately lead to a very, very different place. And so, the keys here, if you want to get ahead and you want to grow and you want to be successful, it's disciplined habits. I have a saying in my garage on a whiteboard: disciplined habits is a disciplined business. And those disciplined habits create successful business opportunities. So when it comes to gaining an edge, so I want to go around the horn a little bit for some of you guys that decided to jump on today, which we appreciate that. Before I get into a couple other points. So what's one thing? What's one small decision you can make today to gain an edge on one of your goals. So I see some people on screen here. I see some people in the office. But let's go around the horn. I'm just curious, what comes to mind? What's a small decision that you can make today to help you gain an edge or help you make progress towards your goals? Like a little decision, not a big one, just small little decisions. So Alejandro, I see you raising your hand. So what's a small decision you can make today?
Like I have a whiteboard. I also write down my goals. I put it in my
Oh, I can hardly hear you. You got to get closer to the speaker.
Is that a little bit better?
A little bit better. Go ahead. Speak up a little bit.
Okay. Like you said, with the whiteboard thing, small things like that. I also have one in my wall with my goals written on it. I try to like bombard my subconscious with my goals just so I'm constantly reminded by them.
Okay, great. So you have a whiteboard, you write them, you bombard your goals with it. Awesome. Edgar, what's one thing you can do today? Something extra, gain a slight edge for what you want to accomplish.
Listen to an extra episode of Michael Sessions' podcast.
Okay, great. Awesome. Slight edge. Dante, what about you, buddy? Good to see you, man.
It's great to see you as well, Ken. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. So
Awesome.
What's one thing you can do today to gain a slight edge on what you want to accomplish?
Give maximum effort and Okay,
I think we lost you barely there, but I think you said give
Sorry.
Maximum effort today. You're good. I know it looks like you're working in the office.
Give more maximum effort than I did the day before every day.
Great. And I see Kat. What about you, Kat? What's one thing that you can do to a little bit extra that you can hit your goal today?
Something I do if I start to feel like I'm like falling off the rails or like losing my attitude or something is I reconnect with my why.
Great.
So, which is like my partner, my family, all that stuff. And once I start to remember that and remember the things in my life I'm grateful for, it helps me like get back in that mindset of like, okay, let's do this.
100%. That's an awesome one. When you can reconnect and also you think about things you're grateful for, taking 2-3 minutes to think about it. Fantastic. And I see, last but not least, I see Matt coming up to the screen here. What's one thing you can do today to gain an edge?
For sure. So anytime I'm struggling, I'm just going to take like 5 minutes to step back, reevaluate what I'm doing, and then honestly just put my all into what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Nice. Love it. Very good. Last but not least, Marty, what about you, buddy? I see you on the screen this morning. Good to see you, man. What's one thing we're talking about gaining a slight edge of, kind of things you want to accomplish in your goals? What's one thing you can do to gain an edge today? Small decision.
Basically, for me, it's like listening to the right kind of materials on the way to the field, getting yourself in the zone, and just riding that high the whole rest of the day.
Nice. Very good. Well, listen, and I'll share this with you guys. So one thing I do to gain an edge every morning is music. I like to play good music in the morning when I'm in the car, I'm going to the gym. There's a couple songs that I play pretty consistently. One of them has to do with the kids. I don't know if you guys know the movie Sing, but my boys like to sing. It's kind of funny, the different songs. And one that I'm just read a couple. So Savage Love by Jason Derulo. I don't know, for whatever reason, that just good feeling song. I just like that one. It gets me going. And what's another one? Post Malone has a good one out that I like. And then what was the other one? Memories from Maroon 5. So there's just a couple songs that just just get me to think about, hey man, like life's good. We got so many things that we could be worried about and whatever, but life is good, and we're moving towards our goals. We're making progress, and I always say that to myself. So this is a tip I'll give you guys. I would always tell yourself as much as you can daily is I'm making progress. You will get addicted to the feeling of making progress to your goals, and whether you are or you're not, if you keep telling yourself you are, you are going to make progress. Whether it's today or tomorrow, you may be inches, and the other days will be leaps. All right. So one of the things I want to talk about, and give you guys a couple tips, again, to gain an edge. So I would think about the difference between being productive and being busy. Because being productive and being busy are very, very similar. One of them will help you move towards your goals. So it's not about doing things, it's about doing the right things. So I'll give you an example. If you're in retail sales or in sales in general, being productive would be getting as many presentations out, getting as many sales call outs out, getting as many conversations going, right? Now, if you're talking to a customer and things aren't going the way they need to be going, then making the decision to end the conversation and move on to the next one is being productive, right? Now, being busy is talking to a customer that things aren't going anywhere. Yeah, you're talking to a lot of people, which is great, but you're not being productive and moving towards the goal, whatever goal that is for the day, right? So think about how today you can be more productive and not just busy in what you're doing, right? The second thing I'll say is when you decide to make decisions that gain an edge in one part of your life, it's super cool. It actually bleeds into the rest of your life. So I'll give you an example. For me, I made a choice many, many years ago to take my health seriously, to eat well. And listen, I'm not perfect, but to eat well for the most part, to exercise daily, to drink water consistently. But I made the decision to improve my health. And you guys may not know this, but in my 20s, I'm not kidding you when I tell you I drank 3 to 4 coffees a day, and I would drink 2 to 3 Red Bulls a day. I'm not kidding when I tell you that. That is honest truth. And that was just during the day. Then I'd go out at night and I'd drink Red Bull vodkas. Like, it was crazy the amount of Red Bull and coffee I drank in my day. I was like bouncing off walls all the time. And I remember waking up one day and realizing I just didn't feel good. There's got to be a different way to generate this type of, energy and this adrenaline, a little bit more natural way. So I didn't have so many highs and frankly, so many lows. And that's when I decided to seriously take my health. And I naturally have energy because I take time for myself and I go to the gym and I do what I do. Now, by making that decision for my health, it's bleeded into my relationships. My relationship is much better, not only as I've gotten married and I have kids, but when I have the time for me in the gym, I'm better with how I come through for my boys. I'm better when I come through for my business, which impacts my finances, right? So just the decision about my health and filling myself up daily for the things for me, and I'm not telling you guys you have to do this piece, but doing things for yourself, that personal stuff you do will bleed into other things and it will multiply and help you gain an edge in multiple areas of your life. And I can tell you the greatest gift you can give yourself is your own personal development, your own personal love, your own personal gifts that you give yourself. And I promise you, it will compound into other areas of your life. So want to share that with you guys, gaining an edge, making little decisions over time will help you reach your goals. Being successful is not something that just happens overnight. It is something that happens over time. And that's why it's hard. The majority of the world, last time I checked, there's a lot of people in the world that want to be successful. There's a lot of people in the world that want to come through for their families. They want to come through for themselves. There's people daily that wake up that say to themselves, I want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, right? But not everyone's willing to do the work. Not everyone's willing to be disciplined. Because being disciplined and having the right habits, it's not easy to do. It's actually difficult to do over time. It's easy to do it in a few days. It's easy to do it for a week or two. It's not easy to do things over a certain period of time, years to being said. So wanted to share that with you guys. Want to go around the horn real quick and see what you guys took away from today's call, the slight edge theory, and see how things impacted you guys. So if we could share real quick, I'd appreciate it. What's one thing you can take away that you're going to apply to your life? So Edgar, go ahead.
Just realizing that small steps towards your bigger goal is the way to achieve your overall goal. Doing consistent actions over time is going to lead to consistent results.
Awesome.
So what I took away is the difference between being productive and keeping busy. Definitely something to keep your mind on. That way you're not just kind of losing yourself on the day-to-day. You really going towards your goals.
Awesome.
I think the coolest thing was just the fact of saying I'm making progress. I think a lot of people get so caught up in where they are and how they're not moving forward that they forget that they are moving forward in simple steps in what they're doing. So I think it's super powerful just to say that you are making progress and credit yourself sometimes.
Because the truth is, Sanjay, you are, right? You are making a ton of progress. We just don't see it. It's like driving in the road. When you guys are driving, you guys ever do this? You're looking in the windshield and you feel like you're just driving, you're not even moving, but then you got to look down and you're like, holy crap, we're actually going really fast, right? So sometimes you got to look down every once in a while to remind yourself, man, I'm really moving. So Eric, I see you wanted to say something.
Yeah, another thing that really stuck out to me was sort of attacking the things that make you uncomfortable, because those are often the things that are going to lead to the most growth.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the uncomfortable now becomes comfortable later, right?
Yeah. So with me, yeah, what I learned was that even if you have family who's like, they're supposed to be supporting you and maybe they're not so supportive, it's important to know that you believe in yourself and believe in what you can do, because maybe they don't see the vision that you see. So it's important to just have faith in yourself more than anything else, even if nobody else believes.
Nice. Good for you. Anyone else like to share?
Yeah, just it's always a good reminder that it always starts with that decision first. I know that's something that, I always spoke about at my promotions, is like, once I made the decision that this was going to happen, that's when it all really starts to come into fruition.
Nice. Well, very good. Well, I just want to say thank you for your time. If you guys want to share this with anybody that you're around, any friends in your offices or family or whatever, obviously every Friday, 10 a.m., we're going to do this call for KLear channel. If you haven't gone on to subscribe, please do that. We really appreciate it. But thanks so much for your time today. Happy Friday. You guys have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Peace out. 8 Town.